Number 68, Leon and Number 0, Jake Burgess. Number 18, Lauren Lee. Number 3, Christy Paul. Number 99, Joshua Mellish. Number 67, Kingston Talimati. Number 86, Marty Tulagi. Rex Howard. Noah Ross. Number 52, Lauren Julie. Santiago Sakaria. Thomas Moody. Thomas Griffin. Next ball now. Start and team from Team Australia. Number 12, Adam Freeman. Maya George. George Gibson. 97, Alan Norway. Number 75, Marcel Pfeiffer. Number 62, Daniel Mika. Number 33, Ruben Pula. Senetinari Ikisoli.
Crazy door, huh?
Danny Ikipati. Stand judge, David Chin. Field judge, Roy Tanai. Side judge, Sia Matai. Side judge, John Reed. Let's welcome our New Zealand host teams and officials. Please be upstanding for the national anthem.
Going. And when the whistle goes, we stop, we walk away, we show some respect, help our opponents up. It's pretty simple. I can't count all.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome here to nice, warm Auckland. My name's Shiraz. I'm joined here by Marek.
Yeah.
Welcome, Marek. How are you feeling?
Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah, it's a good day today. Still a bit chilly out there.
It will be for the Australian boys, won't it?
Well,
Coming here from...
They played good in that first one at 9 o'clock.
As we joining here for the Colts game, we're setting up for the New Zealand haka. Start the New Zealand men's under 18 team challenging the Australian team with the haka, joined in the background by the men's and the under 16 team. That's one way to get you started in the morning, isn't it?
Yeah. We do got a big Australian squad too.
It is a big squad, and as always, Australia, especially the under-18 team, will be packed full of future college players. I'll be assuming a few of these boys have committed at the moment as well. And Marek, you've played at this level. I think the last time you played was in Sunshine Coast when New Zealand under-20s it was.
Yep.
Toured.
Yep, back in 2015. That was a good tour in Sunshine Coast. Good host.
We spent a few
managed
years.
to win. It was a close one though, but Australia always a hard opponent.
We spent a few years not playing Australia on a regular basis. Both New Zealand went through a bit of a rebuild of our national program. Australia's been quite strong. They've been playing in a lot of the international IFAF tournaments, but we've sort of got ourselves into a pretty good groove now where every year there is this festival of football where all through grades come in. I think the New Zealand team was in Australia last year, and the Australians are returning the favour. How do you feel that bodes for the future of this rivalry?
No, it's very good because it just helps our, especially our junior programs in that when it comes to New Zealand American football, for them to have that opportunity as well, just like the Australians. It's good. And we need more of it as well. And hopefully we can play different opponents over the years.
Yeah, and just being in regular contact with some of the Australian coaches and players, they also just want lots of games. They want game time, and that's something we can offer. That's very difficult to do internationally. One of the challenges New Zealand and Australia is we are very isolated. So to get regular game time, to see players have this opportunity and have the pathway, I think it's a phenomenal future opportunity for our sport.
Definitely. So it looks like we have New Zealand kicking off. Kick off the game.
Crowd starting to fill in as well. We're starting to hear a lot more noise in this game, and I think that's going to continue to build through this afternoon as we head into the men's game here at 3 o'clock.
As I said in the first game, not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful day today. Yeah, Trust Stadium in Waitaki, West Auckland.
To all those watching on TV, it may look warm, but it's a nice fresh 12 degrees today.
Okay, we got number 11 for Australia.
Fantastic return there, gets to the 40-yard line. Broke the outside contain, got caught a little bit ill-disciplined, flushing in, was able to take it for a 30-yard return. Good start for Australia. It's good territory to begin the game. It's always great, isn't it, when your return man gives you possession to start the game inside the opponent's half.
Most definitely. It's a good start to the game as well. Looks like there was a penalty against New Zealand.
Looks like it was a face mask helmet.
Around
Face mask penalty.
20-yard penalty.
Yeah, it should be 15 yards from the spot of the foul, so we're at the 27-yard line. First down, Australia in a spread formation, single tight and a running back. Fantastic stop there. Number 13 coming off the edge, really set it up. He had help from the linebacker, number 81, filling. It's a stop for run for no gain. Second down and 10.
Another run for number 32.
That one down the right-hand side. That one got a lot more of a push. It looks like the
First
right
down.
guard there cleared the way. First down.
Good blocking up front.
Australia have moved to a spread, 4 receivers out at the moment. Looks like tight end number 87 has split out as well. Pass formation. Running back in the backfield. 5 to gain. Looks like he's stopped 2 yards out from the end zone.
32, the running back.
Yeah, so classic spread formation. Looks like New Zealand were probably in man coverage there. Running back, probably middle linebacker's job there. Sprung out to the backfield. Good quick pass. Very hard to stop this far out. To stay in that spread formation, I'll show you they've gone back into a spread tight.
And they're handing it off for another
Inside
run.
Met at the line.
Short.
Flag on the play.
Flag.
Looks like he was marked short. You can see a holding sign that the referee. Looks like it's going to go on the defense. It's going to go on New Zealand. Face masked by the looks. It's going to be half the distance. First down. It's going to be 1 yard out.
And they've put on a new running back as well.
They're in a single back formation now. In a pistol. Timeout, Australia. Interesting time to call timeout, isn't it? First down. Well, that sort of shows the level of detail that's probably gone in there. Coach probably didn't like the look they had. Probably didn't like the way the defense lined up.
Yep.
Or he wanted to get his running back in the game. One thing about this New Zealand defence, though, is I've noticed they are in a very hard to predict front. It looks like they've been playing a 3-3 with a couple other players roaming around the box. It does make it harder for the quarterback to cue on who, not just Mike, but everyone else is around that field. So if you look around their box, they're not really in an easily predictable formation.
And a touchdown for Australia.
Touchdown Australia, that's 6-0. Running back number 15 takes that in. First touchdown of the game. Australia up 6-0.
So Australia going for the extra 2 points. With a running play by 32.
Looks like that one's short. Did a fullback in the formation on that one. And they ran right behind him.
So that's 6-0 to Australia.
Six 0's the score line.
So as we prepare, Australia is going to kick off to New Zealand, and we'll see New Zealand with their first position on offense.
I'm looking forward to see who's starting for New Zealand at quarterback. If it's Adam Beeman, he's a very highly talented young quarterback out of Cranberry. I believe he will be starting in this game.
And that is a
Heavy
fumble.
collision there. Number 90 returns the ball, flags in the field, and that's a fumble. Question is, was he down? Looks like the referee's given the fumble. But there's a flag on the field.
Flags on the field.
So that was number 90, Matawina. Looks like it's Australia's ball. We see Australia's offense running onto the field.
Via.
Perfect start for Australia here. Get the ball to start the game, score on their first drive, and get a turnover on special teams. Really shows how much of an impact special teams has in a game, isn't it?
Definitely.
Australia back to number 32 in the backfield.
Same
Three.
formation too?
3 wide receivers and a tight end. Yeah, that seems to be their go-to this game. Pass.
And good tackle from number 10. Quarterback for New Zealand.
It's a good quick pass out there from the quarterback to his wide receiver number 2. New Zealand quick enough to get there with the stop for a 5-yard gain by the looks of it.
Got another pass to the tight end. Incomplete.
That was quite dangerous there. The tight end didn't quite have his head around If the linebacker from New Zealand spotted that ball a little bit earlier, that would have been a pick six.
Pick six, definitely.
One thing we see in Australia here, they do like the quick game. They like really quick slants, shoots.
Yeah. Quick outs.
They're either building that up to try and draw New Zealand in and then throw the deep ball, or that's their game style. And if it's the latter, you're going to see New Zealand start to pick on that a little bit as the game goes on. But they've got to keep the game close to be able to do that.
Definitely the quarterback for Australia's got a strong arm as well.
Patient run. Great run, number 32. Really patient. Bounced outside a couple of tackles and goes in for a second touchdown of Australia. There is a flag on the field, though. And it looks like this one will be coming back.
But definitely a strong run from the running back.
It's a 10-yard penalty and a loss of down. So that will be 3rd down and 15. Big momentum swing, that one. It's takes a touchdown off the board. And it allows New Zealand to play defense a little bit different here now. You know, this will be a passing down. So New Zealand has a 4-man front.
Yep. 2 high safeties as well for New Zealand.
Australia in a trips to the right formation at the moment.
And we've got a flag on the field.
Given the fact they didn't let the play happen, that looks like it was either a delay of game or a false start. There we go, it's a false start. Looks like Australia are getting play calls in through hand signals. They might have taken a little bit of time to process that one. So they're going no huddle all game. They haven't huddled once. All the plays come in from the coach on the sideline.
Kind of like a college football
Absolutely.
Coaching where they
Trips
to the sideline with their coach. And that was a good pat down by number
81.
from New Zealand.
That is
81.
Madden Katovic Elafosu. The trips to the right there, they had what looked like a triple post or a double post and a slant combo coming across from the right. The corner for New Zealand, or the safety, I should say, broke that one up, puts us into 4th down.
This is 4th down.
Trips to the right again. They seem to favour that formation on this side of the field.
We can still get a 1st down on this play as well. Pass down the middle and complete. Good coverage by number 1, New Zealand.
Quarterback definitely has time in the pocket. That O-line did give him a lot of time there. It's a good sign for Australia as the game goes on. But for now, New Zealand hold him off. Really good job with the New Zealand secondary on that drive, I would say.
So we'll see our first look at the New Zealand offense. And you're saying the quarterback for New Zealand is from Christchurch?
Yes, it looks like that's Adam Beeman. Need to get it.
And that is tackled in the backfield.
Actually, no, it looks like the starting quarterback is Mahonri, or Jelly, as he likes to be known. Looks like him and Adam will be interchanging through this game, but New Zealand coming out in a 3-receiver set with the running back in the backfield. Hand off to the left.
Edward.
Really strong run there from New Zealand. Number 11, Edward Rura-Eliu. At a 6-yard gain, 7 yards perhaps. Gets us into 3rd and manageable. New Zealand in a spread set now, 4 receivers with a running back in the backfield. Australian single high safety showing a heavy pass rush here. They send 5.
Incomplete.
Great pass across the middle. Number 33, the wide receiver for New Zealand, just could not bring that one in. Quarterback stuck in the pocket. He saw the pressure coming, got the ball off, perhaps a little bit behind him.
Yeah, definitely.
But as a receiver, those are the ones you definitely want to bring in for your quarterback when he's under pressure.
Looks like New Zealand is bringing on their punting team.
It's a long game, isn't it? You want to make sure that you win not just possession, but you win territory. You want to play the rest of this game in the Australian half if you're New Zealand. So a good punt here will really help establish that, force Australia to drive.
Does look like the field has dried up as well from the morning game.
Did you get a chance to get out to the field, see what the conditions are like underfoot?
Very wet. Very wet. But looks like, yeah, the sun's come out now, so it's dried up a bit. There's a lot more fumbles in that first game, the under-16s.
For those of you at home who have had quite a bit of rain over the last couple of weeks, and part of Auckland we're in, West Auckland in particular, is often where you find the wetter fields, and I think as the day goes on you'll see the fields dry out and you'll see a bit more aerial football. Alright, so that's 1 quarter in the books. What do you think? How are we feeling for your coach of Australia at the moment?
I guess at the moment it's definitely 50-50. New Zealand's defence has improved from that first drive, but definitely a lot more to do. Got a feeling Australia's going to pull out a few more tricks. But as you said before, he's got so much time in the pocket, the quarterback for Australia. We'll see if he capitalises on that and holds the ball a bit more longer.
It's a poor punt that's gone behind the chasing unit. That's down at about the 50-yard line. That'll be a poison call from any coach. So New Zealand wanted to be playing this game in the Australian half. They probably have 2 yards worth of Australian half to work with before they're back in their half. So probably not the punt you wanted, but defense have coming off a very strong drive, so we'll see if they can back that one up. Your Australia have a very strong offensive line. What would you do from a defensive perspective from New Zealand? You know, you have what looks to be a 3, maybe 4-man defensive front for the most part. Would you start looking at bringing pressure, or is that still a bit too early in the game?
That last run from Australia, they did struggle to run it through the middle. So New Zealand just needs to keep doing what they're doing and make sure they contain on the outsides. Looks
like they have 3 traditional down linemen, 2 outside linebackers here, so it's a 5-man front in essence. Here's a run to the right.
Yeah, that's a good tackle by New Zealand.
One thing I did notice, there's a quarterback from Australia, number 9, did roll out and he was wide open. So look for them to come back to that at some stage. New Zealand haven't quite adjusted to that play action look. The backside defensive end definitely red run on that one. Again, Australia going out of their no huddle. All the signals are from the sideline.
Looks like a new running back there is coming to the game.
So
good 2-yard play for Australia.
Another play though where it hasn't been a clean handoff, has it? The Australian quarterback, it is taking a little bit of time to gather the ball and get the ball off to the quarterback. It does disrupt the timing. And they're in here with a 3rd and 5 at the moment. So just something to keep an eye on. We haven't had the cleanest handoffs or exchanges so far. Running back out of the backfield again, makes a move, gets first down and some.
I'm looking at the New Zealand defence, I see they're doing man coverage as well. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I think the challenge is they're actually doing a really good job downfield. So they're picking up the receivers, they are jamming some of them up. The problem is the running back comes out of the backfield, and often that's the middle linebacker's responsibility. So you've got to scrape against that. I think they probably have to adjust by having them at the outside backers pick up that leaking running back. They're just going to have their hands full otherwise. His running back is very good with the ball in his hands. So that's an adjustment I'm sure the coaches will be looking at. Back to a handoff. Comes back to the left. Very patient run there.
There's two guards pulled around.
Yep, and he just waited for them to pick up their blocks and then ran behind that. You know, he saw that the defensive end was playing contained, so he didn't try to go to the outside. He just ran behind his guards and took what was given. There was 6 yards, and 6 yards a game wins you many football games. 6 yards a run, sorry.
I see Australia, they like switching up their running backs. Guessing keeping them fresh throughout the game.
Absolutely. It's another strong run up the middle, and looks like another first down for Australia. I noticed they went to a 2 tight end formation there with 2 wide receivers, so...
Yeah, a bit short. No, first down. Correct.
So it looks like they've realised that the run game is what's going to get them over the line here. So first and second down especially, it's vital that they get these runs off and get good yardage. Because the only thing Australia haven't shown us so far is that they can make these long conversions in the past game. I'm sure they've got it in them, but they haven't showed that so far. New Zealand need to tighten up this run defense to be able to gain the upper hand again.
We have another
run
for number 32.
Very patient run, bounces to the outside.
And a good tackle by New Zealand.
5 yards short, so the defensive end on that play side actually flushed and nearly had the tackle for loss there. But number 32, just fantastic footwork, really good contact balance, bounced it to the outside. Once he got rid of that end, he had green grass and picked up another 10 yards on that run. First and 5.
So I guess it looks like Australia got trips left.
They showed this on the goal line in the last half, didn't they? In the last drive. With their trips to the right. Pass play.
Good pass to the outside again. Oh, you're absolutely right. That was exactly the same play they played on that last run.
So on that play there, I don't know who that was going to, but number 18 was free down the sideline. But the quarterback might have gotten his vision impaired by the defensive end coming in on that. But that play did open up an opportunity for Australia. Look to see if they go back to it.
Got another run by number 15.
That one looked to be a false start. Yeah, either the right guard or the right tackle on the right-hand side just flinched. A little bit too excited, wanted to take off on that run play. You can see the offensive line here. 7 yards to go. They want this run behind them. They want coaches to go, hey, run it behind us, let's go. Just on that occasion, though, they a little bit too trigger happy and maybe went a little bit early. What that probably means, though, is the pass game now comes into play a little bit more. Australia probably have another chance to take a chunk at it from a run perspective here. But it does mean that we're potentially going to see a bit more of a passing down situation. We've got 4 wide receivers. That would indicate we're probably going to see a run.
Passing play.
Pass.
Just
Sorry,
a bit too much. Just a bit too high for the receiver.
We spoke there. 4 wide receivers. We'd like to see a pass, which is what we did. But again, I did see there was a seam down the middle from the slot receiver there by the looks, and had an opportunity, so I'm sure the quarterback will want that one back. Looks like New Zealand are playing a man coverage here in goal line. We've got 2 safeties sitting deep.
And we've got another run.
Run play. Stop short at the 1 yard line. What a fantastic tackle there. Number 81 from New Zealand, the strong safety, comes downhill, makes a touchdown saving tackle. That took points off the board. We're on 4th down here and 1.
Does look like they are stacking up the line now.
We're gone. All the wide receivers have come off here. It looks like a heavy run set. New Zealand have matched that. They've stacked the box. But it's big on big. Australia gets the push. So again, Australia lean on their run to get them home for their second touchdown of the game. New Zealand have shown that they can match them in the pass game. It's just this run game at the moment where they just don't seem to have either the size or the physicality up the middle.
And the extra 2.
Much better job there. Number 97 from New Zealand, defensive tackle just came through, impacted the run. So far, the player of the match has been number 32 from Australia, running back. He's got fantastic balance, footwork, contact balance, and has just been able to be patient enough to get those 5-6 yards at a time when he needs, and then break off that big run. Marek, from a defensive perspective, what do you think New Zealand need to do to adjust here?
Definitely, the linebackers definitely need to plug up those holes as well. But the offensive line for Australia done well with their blocking, and also they're pulling their guards around. But other than that, no, New Zealand are matching them, but it's just the middle, up the middle. They've just got to work on that.
Which coming in, that's not what you'd expect, would it? Number 33 for New Zealand. Oh, that's high. Helmet comes off.
Mask.
No flags in the field, though. Looks like that one was deemed clean. Oh, there is a flag.
We've got a flag on the
flag
field.
On the far side of the field. The officials' hats off as well, which to me can indicate that someone stepped out of bounds before coming back into play. It's a holding. Looks like there's 2 fouls in the play. We don't quite have a feed to the officials here in the commentary booth, but just by reading signals, it looks like there's 2 fouls in the play and they're offsetting. So the ball's placed at the point of return, which appears to be the 32-yard line in New Zealand's own half. So 12-0 here for anyone who's joining us. Australia started with the ball in the first half. We're in the second quarter at the moment. Australia showing some pre-snap movement on defense. So, good pass to the running back out of the backfield there. Just one of those occasions as a receiver, you'll come back to the huddle and teammates will tell you it's all right, but we've all been there as a wide receiver. That's one of those really tough ones. But second down and 10.
I guess there's still a little bit of nerves in the New Zealand team. Got another run from Edward.
A bit of patience there from Edward. Punches the ball back in. Then one thing you've also got to realise is it is cold out there. That leather ball feels a lot different in summer than in the middle of winter.
Both teams are used to playing in is usually in summer.
Also notice a running back isn't wearing gloves, so that's a brave call. Probably something that he's used to out of typical play, but in the middle of winter, I know I'll be wearing gloves. Like a screen, running back screen, wide receiver screen there, good gain. 4-yard gain.
And that will be 4th down.
4th down, and by the looks, 2 or 3 yards to go. What would you do here? 4th and 5 actually, so it is a bit further. Doesn't look like the punting team is coming on. Quarterback's still in the game, so they're going for it. A bit
of a risky one. It's 5 yards.
Now, do you think that last punt has anything to do with this decision?
Possibly. But I guess, New Zealand are just trying to try things out.
Corners dropping for Australia. Looks like they're playing a soft coverage here to Sticks. Run play, running back for the ball, cutting back in.
And
looks like he stopped short. Not sure if I agree with that play call, to be honest. 4th and 5, you've chosen to go for it.
Yeah. They're stuck in their own half as well, New Zealand. And not much passing downfield from New Zealand as well.
We know they've got that in them. It's one of those things, it just looks like the confidence level both through quarterback and receivers right now isn't there to the level they'd hoped for. We've seen a couple of balls thrown reasonably well go to ground. That does, if you've been a quarterback in the past, how does that feel when you've seen that a couple of times?
Those 1%ers, you definitely got to catch. Definitely, even if it's a 1 yard play, you definitely got to catch a lot of balls that you're throwing to. If they caught those last 2 balls on those lateral passes, they could have got a 1st down already. In saying that, the Australian defense has been
very well organised, isn't it?
Yes.
I'd say here's a massive hole here. Running back number 15, we've got a new running back in the game, and he just took that hole and took out for 15 yards. That don't quite get a replay there, but it looks like either the offensive lineman just cleared the way, or there was a real miscommunication from New Zealand to leave that B gap open.
There usually is a linebacker plugging up that hole, but
Again,
same
hole. Looks like Australia has found something. The left side B gap right now, they've identified that as a weakness, and they're going after it. I think just looking at it, you can see a real size disparity between the defensive line and the offensive line for Australia. I just wonder if New Zealand are just not getting that level of protection for their linebackers.
That is the 3rd run in a row.
Yeah. That left side B gap. Hey, you got to give credit to the coaches, right? You've seen something that's working and just going after it. We know what it's like. We've played Madden before where we just run the same play over and over again. If it works, it works.
Yeah.
Second down here. Here's a chance to give your quarterback a little bit of confidence and a quick pass play to score a touchdown. That would do a mile of good for the quarterback if you want to give that chance. But they go back to the run play. First down, looks like they're the 1 yard line for New Zealand.
Looks like they're bringing out, swapping around the running backs. Number 32 has come into the game.
Number 32 looks like he was a starting running back for this game. It's back in. Number 15 had a great stint there.
Bit of a bobble in there, but nevertheless, touchdown to Australia.
Yeah, another handoff that hasn't been quite clean, but Australia just managed to
The quarterback's
hang
got
on
time
to it.
in the pocket, so
Yeah.
I think he realises that now.
Yeah, I think that's something that New Zealand are going to go look away at halftime, and how can we get a bit more pressure, both on run and pass plays, to disrupt what's happening in the backfield. You just got to get the quarterback, get the running back off time. You can't let them have their first options within the pass game or the run game. And right now, the first option's always there, and that's another one. Left side, big gap. Didn't get touched going into the end zone, so it's another fantastic touchdown for Australia, number 15 this time. Conversion, rather. But there are some real holes in this New Zealand run defense that I'm sure they're going to spend a little bit of time on the sidelines and at halftime adjusting.
So that's 20-0 to Australia.
And to be fair, the game hasn't felt, outside of that run game, it hasn't felt as uncompetitive. The first quarter especially, was a lot more competitive. It looks like Australia just kicked on in second gear. At the moment, they've got confidence. I think that's a key thing New Zealand's lacking right now, is they're just not playing with confidence. They're not committing on defense. They're not committing on offense. And you can see what confidence has done to Australia.
Australia, both teams have got into their running game early, but definitely Australia's running game is a bit more organised. Oh, we got a short kick right there.
Great coverage, number 88 from New Zealand. Great job diving on it. Too often you see a bit of the rugby instincts kick in where players try to pick it up and run, and these balls bounce funny. The last thing you want to do is be responsible for a turnover. So great job there, staying disciplined from the front line of New Zealand's kick return. New Zealand now in a spread formation with 3 receivers and a tight end. It's a pass play. Quarterback rolls out, sprints out to the right, makes a man miss, gets out of bounds. What looks like a short gain. If you notice, Australia trying to play a little bit of alignment disguise here. It looks like the corners, especially line up, look with what looks like man early in the quarterback's pre-snap process. They then drop to what looks like a cover 3 shell after that. So it's a little bit of mind games here. They just don't want the quarterback to be comfortable. They want to take away that pre-snap thinking. If you look at it now, they look like they're playing some sort of cover 2 or press, but very often late in the piece they drop into what looks like a cover 3 shell. So
definitely the Australian defensive line adding a lot of pressure too, without sacrificing their linebackers as well.
Yeah. They're doing it through disguise, aren't they? They've sort of got 3 or 4 down linemen, but they seem to only be sending 4 or 5 at a time.
Yeah.
So they're not having to overcommit here. And that makes a big difference because, like you said, then you have backers and people in coverage ready to adjust to either pass or run. Great crowd building up here. We looks like we're about 75% full in the grandstands. I'm sure we'll be at capacity for the matinee game today.
A lot of Australian fans too make the travel over.
What a fantastic weekend weather it's been as well. It's as good as it gets in New Zealand in the winter, isn't it?
Especially in Auckland.
Yeah. Like a quick officials timeout there by the looks. Back on the field now. New Zealand's ball, 2nd down and 7 by the looks of it. And they're on Australia's 47-yard line. First time I believe they've been in Australia's territory. What do we think here? It's 4-down territory as a coach.
Definitely keep on looking for the pass. We've got a quarterback that's got wheels on him too.
So that again, they drop into that cover 3 shell. With his own read. Looks like a very minimal gain. So they might be back to the previous spot. 3rd down.
1 yard pickup.
So it looks like they're running a bit of a bubble screen RPO here, where the quarterback is picking whether to hand off or throw it to a bubble screen.
The number 9 for Australia, really doing a good job containing as well.
Australia showing a
92, sorry.
4-man defensive line here from Australia. Set to back it up the middle. Here's a good play. Number 11's got the ball, makes a man miss, gets past first down. He's at the 30-yard line. That's New Zealand's biggest offensive player of the game so far, and that gives him a little bit of confidence, isn't it? A bit of momentum. Running back's got to get off the field. He's lost his helmet. As you know, that is a one-play sideline requirement. So New Zealand have brought in a new running back at the moment. And that looks to be number 90 in the backfield. Australia in their 4-man front at the moment. 2 high safeties, corners drop back.
Got another run for New
Great
Zealand.
run up the middle. Number 90. Look, it does look like Australia are saying, New Zealand, you have to beat us with the pass here. They're taking away the run. They're leaving the flats open to a degree. They're saying, go ahead, take those.
New Zealand are getting in a rhythm now.
New Zealand in a spread formation here. 4 receivers split out. Running back number 90 still in the game. Australia switched to their cover 3, single high. Running back motions out to the left. Pass opportunity. He's got the ball down the sideline. Makes a man miss, and he gets down to the 20-yard line, which looks very close to a first down. It might, in fact, be a first down. There it is.
What a good catch from number 80.
So they've run that play twice now, where the running back shuffles out to the left, gets out into a bit of a semi-motion, and hasn't been picked up. And that's that cover. That's a weakness in a cover 3, isn't it? It's the flats, especially with the running back, because you've got to have those linebackers pick that up. It's a longer way to get there than it is for a cornerback. Deep ball, New Zealand. Well contested. Number 7 from Australia there to break it up.
Was thrown in double coverage as well. Bit of a risky play there.
It is. It did hit the New Zealand receiver first, though. So
Nevertheless, it was a good pass.
second down here. 10 yards to go. New Zealand's ball. 3 wide receiver set. Looks like this is their favourite formation, isn't it? 3 wide receivers and a tight end. Tight end to the right. One play.
And good contain
Nowhere to
by
go.
Australia.
A little bit impatient there from the running back. Tried to cut that outside. He might have had better luck going up the middle. But Australia's defensive line is relentless right now. Very, very well disciplined. They're not flowing two directions. They're staying on their disciplines. They're staying to their contain. And it's wearing this team down. New Zealand just hasn't been able to get this run game consistently working so far.
So we've got 3rd and 13.
3rd and 13, and we've got New Zealand with 3 wide receivers to the left. Australia staying in zone. They've got 2 DBs to that side matching that. They've got a safety over the top. Pass play here. Quarterback identifies it. Throwing a double coverage. Well covered. Again, looks like they did have some open receivers to the strong side of the formation where they had the trips. They did try and leak out to what looks like the fading wide receiver, or running back actually, out of the backfield to the right. Oh, sorry, it was that wide receiver number 4. But Australia just had that really well covered. 4th down and 13. Just need to get the Australian defensive line off rhythm. You want to start going on 2. You want to start getting them outside of what is right now a very predictable game plan from New Zealand.
Especially, you know, they pull a few guards here and there for the running back. Definitely help. Oh,
Fumble. It's a fantastic sack, which looked like the strong safety bolting in. Or the Sam linebacker.
Handover.
Yeah, they need to do something, don't they? They need to pull some guards. They need to run some screens. They just need to get this defensive line off the thinking that they can just pin the ears back.
The RPOs are working, but the running plays are. If they're going to run the ball, they're going to have to run straight. At the moment, they're running a lateral, and it's not working because Australia's big men on the line are containing very well.
The only thing that seems to be working is those flares to the running back in the backfield, or those really quick passes to the wide receivers. Australia on offense now, they're back to their 3 wide receiver set. New Zealand with 2 high safeties, although they're very shallow at the moment. Looks like they're trying to help with the run game. Looks to be another 5-yard gain, this time up the right B gap. So look, the adjustment New Zealand's made, looks like their safeties now are only playing 5 yards off. They're playing 5 to 7 yards off, which means they are going to give up a bit in the pass game if they want to keep that up. 2nd and 5, they're dropping back a bit. New Zealand will drop far back, pass out of the backfield.
Good stop by New Zealand.
Great stop there, 3rd down. Can't be far from half-time at the moment. Another good run stop there, Merrick. That's 2 stops in a row there. That gives the New Zealand defensive line linebacks a bit more confidence, doesn't it? 4th down and short.
Yeah, the crowd's been awesome this morning.
Looks like the MC's getting the crowd into the game here.
We've got, looks like 4th and 2 or 4th and 3.
Looks like they're in punt formation here. So good punt. Australia's got off. Great catch on the full.
Catch on the full.
That's one element of the game, isn't it, that you would expect Australia to just lead. They've got, what is it, about 8 punters in the NFL at the moment.
Wow.
So yeah, they have a massive pipeline of punters, and ultimately the AFL and I guess the rugby pathway and natural punting abilities do come through, and you can see how well drilled not just the kick but the entire punt unit was there. Definitely an element of the game that Australia do really, really well.
You could see the pressure Australia put on New Zealand on that punt. He had that whole front line was already downfield, ready for a tackle.
New Zealand now have trips to the left. Australia responds with a too high safety look.
Pass to the flats. Got the running back.
It's that same play again. Running back shuffles out to the left. The wide receiver's in blocking mode at that point and just runs behind them, and that looks like what New Zealand banks as their most productive sort of option right now, is getting the ball in the backfield and use your wide receivers as blockers.
Looks like number 11 for New Zealand was one of their main playmakers.
Absolutely. And anytime you don't have to run at that Australian defensive line, you'll take it, wouldn't you?
Definitely.
Rather run to a cornerback than you would to a defensive lineman. Great gather there. Again, another bubble screen to the wide receiver. That looks like it's number 12 who gets a short gain. So New Zealand have sort of adjusted towards the quick game at the moment. That looks like they are 4th and 1. The run game just isn't working. You can replace the run game with a bit of a quick game, but at some stage you do need to get downfield with your passing game, don't you? Fourth down to 3 wide receiver set for New Zealand. Wide receiver in motion. Pass play caught by number 87, what looks like the tight end, for a 15-yard gain. Fantastic catch there. That's what you need to get the confidence in this pass game going.
Looks like we have a timeout for New Zealand.
We will be inside the 2-minute warning here, and looks like they've got the 2-minute drill going, so look for them to call timeouts if they're caught inbound or get out of bounds here. We don't unfortunately have a view to what the clock is, but just by how the players have been running, it looks like we are playing up against the clock at the end of the half.
Definitely Australia is doing a good job in coverage, but as you said before, it's those swings out to in the backfield is where they're lacking, and where New Zealand is actually gaining all their plays.
For anyone who's joining us, we are nearly at half-time here. Australia are up 20-0. In what has been a much more competitive game than that scoreline would suggest. Australia did have a passage to the middle of the game, or middle of the half rather, where they did dominate. But New Zealand do deserve some points here for what has been a couple of good drives that they just haven't been able to complete.
They're looking more confident too as well, New Zealand.
Staying in this 3 wide receiver set, that looks to be the formation that has been the most successful for New Zealand at the moment. Running back motions out to the right again. Quarterbacks dart up the middle. Looks like there's a couple of flags come in. That might be a clear horse collar, wouldn't it? Stops the clock, gives New Zealand a 15-yard gain as well.
The defense did well. It was just unlucky on the tackle.
So that was quite an interesting counter. So they had that same look with the running back motions out to the right. They faked it, got the whole defense biting on it, and the quarterback then darted up the middle.
Yep. And as you know, it can work too because their linebackers like to stay in coverage as well for Australia.
And that's the sort of stuff that forces that desperation tackle, where you sort of stick an arm out, and New Zealand did ultimately get a first down out of it. So first down, they're at Australia's 12-yard line. They're staying in their 3 wide receiver set with their tight end Split out to the left, number 87. Look for him. He's made a couple of big plays here. Australia with the pressure again. New Zealand scrambling out. Brought down for a 3-yard sack by the look of it. And unbelievable amount of pressure, haven't they? Just relentless all game. Australia's defensive line and linebackers just overwhelming New Zealand at the moment. Second down and 13, and is that halftime?
Yes, looks like
That's halftime.
Halftime.
Did New Zealand have a couple of timeouts in their pocket there that they could have burned that? All right, we'll join you after this halftime break.
Zealand team's really good. They're putting us through our paces, and we're just trying to stay and do everything we promised. One play at a time. Every play has a life cycle of its own, you know, and we're not impacted by success or failure. And they're doing everything we could ask them to do. I can't be prouder of the team.
Run game's working. You want to get the pass game in. into rhythm this half as well?
It's always complicated when you bring a team together in a shorter period of time. We want to make sure that the chemistry is there. So establishing the run early allows us to pass a little better later in the game. But yeah, look, we'll do whatever works, and it doesn't always have to be fancy. It just has to get the job done. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Thanks, coach. Good luck second half.
Thank you so much.
And here we are to start the second half for New Zealand versus Australia, the under 18s. And that was a good return by New Zealand. They are at the 35.
All right, good to be back up here. Second half, Marek. How are we feeling?
We'll see if New Zealand keeps going off those quick balls up to the flats in there. But other than that, we can make a good comeback now.
So they got three. They're back to this three wide receiver to one side formation. Running back in motion. High ball, but QB reels it in.
Blocked in the back.
Couple of flags down, and again the Australian defensive line just gets to the quarterback. He's just got no time, has he?
Yeah, it's just the blocking from up front for New Zealand.
So number 8 quarterback plays at the same club team as tight end number 87, who they're flexing out. Play in Australia for the Crusaders out of Melbourne.
So they'll definitely be familiar with the Australian, how the Australian team play.
Just had a great chat at halftime to the head coach of the Crusaders, Craig Wilson, and found out, that number 8 he is a good quarterback. He's got a fantastic arm. So look for them to use that a little bit more in this half. 3 wide receivers to the right for New Zealand. Running back number 11 makes another man miss, and that's another first. It's not a first down, sorry, because they were 10 yards back, but it's another 10-yard gain. Same play, but it's working.
Definitely. And the blocking was much better on that one from the wide receivers.
And that's what we're finding, isn't it? That New Zealand they've realised it's very hard to run at this defensive front from Australia. So they're moving that ball, they're moving that point of attack to the outside, to wide receivers blocking corners. And that seems to be working. It is one-dimensional. They will need to lean on the rest of the game, but that so far is carrying them in this first half of this game so far. Screen pass out to wide receiver number 33. Quick game. 4-yard game. That looks to be third down. Couple of flags fly in. So there's a little bit of extracurricular after that tackle.
Looks like the discipline from New Zealand.
Referee's walking backwards. It looks like it is a 15-yard penalty by the looks on New Zealand. That's a drive killer, isn't it? Went from a 4th and 2 to a 4th and 13. Even more. It might have been after the play.
Oh, okay.
So after the whistle's blown dead, 15-yard penalty. What would have been a 4th and 1 is now a 4th and 14, which is that's just a backbreaker, and they've got to bring the punt formation in.
So we've got number 11 returning for Australia.
Good punt from New Zealand.
And that
So a
was an awesome
fantastic tackle
from
there. New Zealand had numbers to the ball. And it looks like someone is down for Australia. Helmets come off the field.
We do hope he's okay.
Teammates are taking a kneel on the sideline. He is sitting up. And another flag has just come in. This is not what you'd want from a New Zealand perspective. Players down. You've got good position. This is the time to stay disciplined, isn't it?
Well, that's a good sign. He got back up.
It's like a unsportsmanlike penalty on New Zealand. That would be a 15-yard penalty, and there'd be a player on a final warning as well. Coaches will be furious right now. Alright, we are back. It looks like Australia had the ball at midfield at New Zealand's 47-yard line, and it's a 1st and 10. Australia back into a 2 wide receiver formation, double tight. QB in a pistol formation. Oh, it's ball behind his legs, and New Zealand have recovered.
Got it back.
We did talk about that, didn't we? There's been a few now, just snaps that have not been clean.
Yes.
And New Zealand finally got one to go their way and hit the ground. And got to give credit to the defensive lineman there, just being relentless and getting to the spot and getting that ball. So,
And just seeing that, there was only one New Zealand player that seen the fumble. So props to him for picking it up.
and diving on it. You know, very often you see players trying to pick that up and run with it, and often don't recover it as a result. So here we go. Here's a lease of life to the New Zealand team. They've got first down. They're on the Australian 40-yard line. I think this is the best they've started any of their drives so far. They're staying in this triple wide receiver set to the right. 4 wide receivers, trips to the right. Number 87, tight end, has been split out to the right. That looks to be the big difference so far in the adjustment they've made. Running back motioning to the right again. Back to him.
Back to Edward. Nice run. 3 yards. Good 3 yards. 3 to 4 yards.
Look at the timeout. Couldn't quite tell if it's timeout, it's officials timeout, or if it's an injury timeout. There is an injured player down for Australia.
Now, what do you reckon New Zealand's doing better in the second half? Does seem like it's more of a close contest now.
Yeah, I think the challenge, I don't think New Zealand's offense is actually too far off at the moment. You know, they seem to be moving the ball. I think the problem with New Zealand's offense is they're not finishing. And they're having too many mistakes. And we saw that on that last drive. Australia's offense has just been hard to stop. They had that turnover there, and they've managed to keep this game. You know, they keep keeping the game in the mud. They want to slow it down. They don't want Australia to get the momentum back. And I think that's what's changed. Just Australia's confidence went from being at a really massive high when they were just running the ball for 10 yards a time seem to have lost that confidence, and New Zealand have got to hope that they don't get it back, or New Zealand get that confidence and get the win behind themselves. What are you seeing, Merritt?
No, yeah, you're exactly right. You can see the New Zealand offense has got a bit more confidence, and then they know what they're doing now, and they're also catching all the balls they get throwing, so that's a plus. But then again, that Australian defense, that front four, sorry.
They just get off the ball so quickly, don't they? I was just watching defensive tackle there, number 92, and he was off the ball as soon as it was snapped, and he just got possession on the New Zealand, so the left guard, and was just able to have that first step, get out of the way, and be in the backfield. And until they can stop that, this is going to be a long game for New Zealand. They have got to fix what is happening on this offensive line at the moment.
And their passing game has been working too for New Zealand.
Yeah. Look at Australia's front. They've got their 4 down linemen and 2 linebackers in the box showing blitz. Linebackers drop back. Defensive end comes in untouched. Quarterback scrambles, gets away from another, and he gets first down.
What a run.
Really gutsy run there, wasn't it? Quarterback stayed on his feet, and that was pure willpower just to get over that first down.
Now they're changing a few of their linemen now for Australia.
Coming off. That's what you want, isn't it? You want to have these longer drives so your defensive linemen tire out. They haven't had that so far. New Zealand in a 3 wide receiver set now. Twins to the left. Got motion from the wide receiver on the far side. It's like it's a pass play. Just as you said it, Merrick. Just as you said it.
Yeah, that was a good pass. Not just unlucky for the receiver.
It's like New Zealand running a bit of a mesh concept there on offense. They had 2 drag routes, 2 shallow drags across the field. Both of them got open. You just got to make those catches, and no doubt, I think it was number 87 tight end on that one. He'll make up for it on the next play.
Well, New Zealand know now that the middle was open.
Yep. Motion again. Wide receiver coming across the formation. Run up the middle. There we go. It's an 8-yard gain. And that's what you want, isn't it? You just want some creativity. You want to be able to get some of these target points for this defensive lineman just to change a little bit. You want to put them in some sort of decision point. And as we have a flag on the field, you want to create hesitation. I think they did that just there with the jet sweep, with the fake jet sweep, with their run back to the left.
Definitely a better run. Probably their best run of the day.
Unfortunately, it looks like it'll be coming back though. And I think penalties have just really crept in this half, haven't they?
Yeah.
And that's a 3rd big penalty in the last wee while. And that one looks like it's a 15-yard penalty again. So what would have been a 3rd and 2 is now a 3rd and 16. 4th and 16.
4th and 20.
They would have adjudicated from the spot of the foul, I'm guessing. So it's a 4th and 17, and there's really not much in the playbook from this situation, is there? Nevertheless, New Zealand will...
Best guess is just to chuck one up for the wide receiver.
So where heroes are made, aren't they?
Chance.
QB scrambles, gets a bit of space, gets the ball downfield, is a wide receiver open, and he catches it! And he is he across? It looks like he's shot. But that was all on New Zealand's quarterback, number 8. 4th and long, where heroes are made.
So well into, they seen the quarterback scramble on that one, and they left 2 receivers downfield.
And it looks like for a moment they were going to get in the way of each other, but number 87 there just said, that's my ball. Went up, got it. New Zealand are now at the Australian 1-yard line. Chance to get their first touchdown off the day.
Yes, first points for New Zealand of the day.
And that'll get the crowd behind you as well, won't it?
Most definitely. So in this situation, what are you thinking? Running?
So, Australia's defensive line, they are going to be plugging out the middle, aren't they? You'd want to attack the edges. You'd want to get that push. I'm surprised the quarterback's not under center here. That would have been a really good chance to at least get some sort of... Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of these shotgun runs from 1 yard out. The running backs gets caught flat-footed, unfortunately. Defensive line from Australia just too fast to get there. You've got to attack the edges right now. They're just not really giving you much up the middle, are they?
Yeah. 5 yards out now, so they lost 3 yards.
This is where I reckon the swing to the backfield, to the running back, this is where I think it can be really, really lethal. Australia are going to be heavy up front.
You definitely need the running back to have one-on-one with one of the corners or whatnot, or one of the linebackers for his best chance to get a touchdown right now.
Running back lined up to the left here. 2 receivers to the left side. Looks like it's a pass play. Quarterback rolls out. And that is nearly picked off. Goes to ground. It's 3rd and 5. Yeah, in typical situations, you'd want to see... This is where you want to see a heavier backfield. You want to see a fullback come into the game and mix a tight end. New Zealand opted to stay in their spread formation, which is fine, but you've then got to attack the outsides. And I do think this is where the coaches will probably start to see that trips formation they're running earlier, that is the money right now. Be interested to see if they go back to it. We're in 3 wide receiver set, single tight end, running back to the left. Australia showing 5 down linemen. QB has a bit of time, has his option, number 87, he goes, and does he cross the line? Looks like he is 1 yard short.
1 yard short. Good tackle by the Australian backfield.
That's the go-to man right now, isn't it? It's number 87, it's their tight end. Quarterback and tight end play together at club level. How much of an advantage is that when you've played with your quarterback?
Yeah, the chemistry. I think for a quarterback, you just feel comfortable knowing someone you've played with and you can trust him as well. As you've seen there, he's throwing 3 passes to him now on this drive.
You know what I'd like to see here is a hard count. See if we can get these Australians to jump. Hard count timeout. Australia crowding the line. New Zealand at 3 wide receiver set. Australia breakthrough. Quarterback's going for a scramble. Does he get across the line? He does. Touchdown.
And as you said, these are the former Crusaders players from Australia.
And that brings up the first touchdown of the day for New Zealand. That is a well-deserved touchdown.
Exactly.
They've been working really hard. Coaches have made some really good adjustments. Discipline let them down a little bit, but they have overcome it. This team is showing resilience. And, you know, going up against a very strong Australian defense, they should be really proud of that touchdown. It brings a bit of momentum, a bit of confidence back into the game.
And, you know, just on that drive alone, they were penalised a couple of times, 15-yard penalties. So for them to come back, drive back down the field and get a touchdown, just shows that they're getting in their emotion now, they're getting comfortable.
You've got to remember, these are, 16 and 17-year-old kids as well, so, the opportunity to play for their country, to put on the black or the gold jersey, this is something these kids will remember forever. And that is a conversion. Again, it's that same combination, quarterback to tight end.
And this crowd is loving it.
Quarterback under pressure, rolls out, gets the ball out to his tight end.
It is 8-20 to Australia. And we are still in the third quarter?
We are in, yes, we'll be halfway through the third quarter at the moment.
But what a drive by New Zealand.
It's like Australia have gone to a single return man now. This is sort of the direction that kick return's going now, from what we're used to with two returners down to one. At least you know who the ball's going to. Low kick from New Zealand, gathered in by the returner, number 11 from Australia. Finds a bit of space, finds a crease. Gets to the outside. New Zealand having to scramble here. And he's tackled down at what looks to be the New Zealand 36-yard line. Great return there from number 11. Return. Very patient, and he turns it to the outside on the left.
And just like that, the momentum switches to Australia.
Special teams, isn't it? That's been a big boost to Australia, getting them going today.
And they needed that too, Australia.
Australia run up the big gap, number 32 breaks away. We talked about that left side B gap. Number 32 just powers through it this time.
And just like that, Australia come back with their own touchdown.
That kills that momentum that New Zealand was gaining. And unfortunately, it's that same playbook, isn't it? That same script of running that play behind your biggest and best lineman. And at the moment, until you can stop that for New Zealand, there is no point Australia going to anything else.
Yep. And what a run by the running back too. He just put his head down. He bumped off a few players and got through a hole.
And he's been the star of the game so far, isn't he? From Australia. It looks like we might have a player down at the moment. Looks like this time there might be a player down from New Zealand.
Good signs he's actually walking off the field, so that's good.
Very respectful team here from Australia, isn't it? Every time you see a player go down, you see the whole team quieten up and take a knee. As you can see, the New Zealand men's team warming up on the horizon, and same with the Australian team to the far side. There's some pretty big squads between the two of them, and Australia here gets ready for the conversion. Locked up this time.
So the score will be 26-8 to Australia. But that's exactly what Australia needed.
I did make it down to the field at half-time, and it is a lot warmer than it is up here in the commentary box, Merrick. And for anyone watching at home, it's a brisk day here in Auckland. I think they've turned the aircon up here in the commentary box as well.
As you said, it's perfect conditions now, especially on the field.
And Australia just get numbers to the ball there. New Zealand, there was a brave return, but had 4 guys around him. Very, very disciplined special teams unit here from Australia to pin New Zealand deep again. It looks like they'll be playing out of their own 15-yard line. And looks like your New Zealand player's down. It looks like it's their returner. And it looks like New Zealand's ball now at the Australian 18-yard line. Oh, sorry, the New Zealand 18-yard line, first down.
Now, I see Australia have got one high safety now.
It's back to the old faithful, running back out of the backfield behind wide receivers. And again, just that's the one thing Australia just can't stop at the moment.
Yep.
It's that running back screen. And one thing I do notice is the last couple of times they ran that, the wide receivers for New Zealand were blocking. I noticed that time the wide receivers went downfield.
Yep.
And I wonder if they're trying to catch Australia off guard a little bit to get them to overcommit when they see that running back motioning out. And perhaps the quarterback, they actually read that, saw the Australians drop deep, dropped it off to the running back.
It looks like Australia's giving New Zealand the flats too. It looks like they're worried about the people after that big play they had on them. New Zealand had on them. Yeah, and it looks like Australia's just giving New Zealand the flats too. Leaving it to them.
And you'd want that, right? 26-8 up. You'd say, hey, if you're going to score, you're going to score in 5-yard chunks. You're not going to score quickly. Yeah. And just as we say that, the Australian defensive line gets to the New Zealand backfield again for a loss of gain.
The whole game is New Zealand's running game is, it's not up to par at the moment. Their passing game is much more better. But Australia, relentless on that defensive line.
But that also shows how the game here in New Zealand is evolving, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
When we were playing as wide receivers, your job is you get maybe 2 or 3 balls thrown your way, and that game has changed.
We had like 3 or 4 running backs in the team. Now we've got a pass.
New Zealand QB scrambles again, gets away from another player, gets upfield, and he has been putting this team on his shoulders, isn't he? He is carrying the New Zealand team at the moment.
Definitely.
He is gritty, he does not give up, and he is taking every opportunity that comes his way at the moment. And we're back here. It's 3rd down and 4 by the looks. Australia showing a 4 defensive lineman front. High ball again. QB gathers, scrambles around, passes it off to his wide receiver in the flats. And that looks to be a 2-yard gain, unfortunately. But look, the snap's got to be a little bit better, hasn't it?
Exactly.
You've got a smaller QB. You just can't be reaching for it and then getting into your pass, into your reads. Fourth down here. What's your thinking, Marek? Are you gonna just by how much time they're taking in the huddle? You think they're going for it, and
You're
probably
gonna
with the
have to go for
scoreline,
it,
you're going to
yeah.
go for it. New Zealand going back to their 3 wide receiver set to the right, looking for the running back out of the backfield to the right here.
This is what worked before for them. So they did a trips.
It's a false start there. Number 6, wide receiver for New Zealand. Again, mistakes letting them down, but
Yeah, it doesn't help when you're 4th and 10 basically now, or 4th and 9.
it looks like the punt formation's coming on now. And that's where it's different, isn't it? 4th and 5 is manageable. Your playbook is quite open to that. 4th and 10, when the defense knows exactly where sticks are, it's very, very difficult, especially with a dominant defensive line like you have with Australia.
It does look like they are preparing for a punt now.
'21 just tuning in. New Zealand are down 26-8, and it looks like we're at the end of the 3rd quarter. Australia started the game really well, really strongly. We're up to 20-0 lead going into halftime. New Zealand has stabilised the game through this middle period, but unfortunately, they've just been a bit too mistake prone compared to Australia. Australia have been very disciplined. They can't run too many flags going against them. They just seem to be very, very drilled, and it probably speaks to how advanced the contact football world is in Australia at the moment.
Yep. And as you said, like 3rd quarter, New Zealand was controlling that whole 3rd quarter into that one play from Australia.
Yep. It was number 32, running back from Australia, who has just been absolutely dominant today. Australia showing a 4-man front against the punt here. He's going to get a clean punt off. It looks to be a good one as well. Australian returner backs off. Reverses field.
Number 11.
Makes another block. Makes another bad miss. Flag down. Made 3 tacklers miss before he's brought down, but we have 2 flags down, and that looks to be coming back.
Looks like it was a block in the back by Australia. But yet again, that was a good run by number 11 for Australia.
New Zealand again contain, letting them down on that one. How does it feel though, Marek? You've been in these kids' shoes in the past, playing at youth level for New Zealand. What does it feel like at the moment? What are the Australian New Zealand players feeling like at the moment? Representing the country.
Oh, it's the highest honour. And not just that, for some of them it's, like the first time they've probably played this sport. And to play for your country is, it's, for them, it'll probably be out of this world.
And I do think it's a real testament to how far the game has grown and come the last 10 years in both Australia and New Zealand. Australia, I think, have really taken another level nationally as a program, both in contact and flag. New Zealand has grown a huge amount from where we were the last 10 to 15 years. In all reality, we are, we'd want to be where Australia are. But to see that we have the opportunity to constantly play each other in multiple formats right now is only good for the game. It's only good for growth in the game. To see how many Kiwi players are playing in Australia, and then come back and
play for New
Zealand. I think that's a really, really positive thing. And to see, I walked around the crowd earlier, to see Australians sitting next to Kiwis, talking about the Warriors games last night.
But like you said before, these are under 18 players, and some of them can easily play for Australia. The ones that live over in Oz, but good on them for coming back and playing for New Zealand.
Yeah, so look, a massive shout out to all the club coaches out there in both New Zealand and Australia who grinding it out in those under 16, under 18 grades. A lot of this is because of the effort you coaches have put in.
And a lot of it is for the love of the sport as well.
Australia with a deep pass there, make it out 10 yards, caught downfield, and he's brought down. That is the longest pass of the game for Australia. It looks to be a 15-yard gain. Quarterback got a chance there to show the arm and gets a good first down out of it. Yeah, like you said, a lot of those coaches do it for the love of the game, and the sport on both sides of the Tasman is here because of that. Looks like Australia have sort of running back in.
Kind of having a bit of fun too, like they've been just running the ball constantly.
Spin move, gets through.
Oh, wow, number 15.
Number 15 from Australia, what a run. Gets through the middle, spun his way out of the linebackers, and unfortunately the safeties probably should have done better there for New Zealand.
Yeah, two safeties there, and unfortunately, they couldn't make a tackle.
But look, these Australian running backs today have been running really well. They run with power. They are great at the point of contact. And they've got moves, It's easier for us to sit here and say some of those tackles should have been made.
And saying that, that's a couple of touchdowns for each running back for the Australian team. So Australia knows their strengths and they're sticking to it, and it's another touchdown.
And they get behind their big offensive line again, and they convert their 2-point conversion on the ground.
So that is 34-8 to Australia.
So New Zealand lining up here for the kick return. New Zealand with two returners in the backfield. It's a shallow ball. Second line's got the ball, and that's a kneel at the 10-yard line for New Zealand. It's a long drive here for the New Zealand offense.
Yeah, I'd like to see New Zealand throw a few downfield. Open it up.
Australia with their 4 down linemen ready to go. New Zealand in their trips formation to the left, to the short side of the field. Single receiver to the open side. Ball snapped. It's a pass opportunity. Quarterback scrambles to the right. He's got plenty of space. He gets first down and some, and he's out of bounds at about the 28-yard line.
Probably the best run for New Zealand in this game.
And that might be what they have to do now. I think you might have to say, look, that running game, we're just not getting much out of it. You've got to put it into your quarterback's hands and either on the ground or through the air, just look to get your yards that way. New Zealand back to showing 2 wide receivers, tight end in tight on the right. Going back to the run game, open to the right, gets about 3 yards before he is brought down. So again, they are looking for that RPO. QB's handed it off on every single RPO so far.
Yep. As I said, I'm still surprised they're still going for the run, but that was a good solid 3 yards.
New Zealand back into their 3 wide receiver set formation, running back to the left. The trips are to the open side of the field now. That's where the quarterback has liked this running back swing in that situation. Traditional drop back, finds his tight end up the middle. Spin move, gets away from his man, makes another man miss, and he's brought down not before getting a first down.
What a move. What a move.
Quite nimble, isn't he? He's
big boy.
Big boy. He's really nimble on his feet. Looks like he's going to ask for a sub here as well. Unfortunately, looks like he's picked up a bit of a niggle. Good to see him jogging off under his own weight. Wouldn't be surprised to see him back in the game shortly.
Well deserved break for number 87.
New Zealand back here on offense. Twins to the left, single receiver to the open side, running back on the left. And they go back to the run game, this time at the middle. And they do get about 5 yards. I have noticed when they've got twins to the short side, they have often run it. It looks like we have a New Zealand player down, and it might be their running back. Looks like he is okay. He's back on his feet. But he might need to go off for a play. It's that stage in the game, isn't it, where these niggles are and these hits are just adding up, and especially playing that running back position. I'm not sure how much you've played. I try to avoid that position like the plague.
Same here.
But that has got to be the most bruising position.
As a running back, you always just got to follow your blocks.
Yeah.
You don't follow your blocks, you're going to get hurt.
They're different people, aren't they? They're not like us. They really just want to get in there and get after their contact. Often running backs would rather go after
And
player.
as you said, there's some natural athletes too, these running backs.
New Zealand with the trips wide receiver set at the moment. QB, the draw, takes off.
That is a good tackle from number 77 from Australia.
Really well read. It was a quarterback draw.
He came from the left side of that line too.
And that's where coaching really makes a difference. Some of these kids on this Australian defensive line have just had years of coaching and technique work that's really showing at the moment.
And their understanding of the game as well.
And I think that is where New Zealand's going to get better over the next couple of years. Now, we've seen some really good coaches sort of emerge from being former players who are now helping out the local networks. And we didn't really have that last few years. That's really picking up now. So Australia showing an 8-man front there. New Zealand passing it deep, getting downfield to his wide receiver who brings it in. What a catch. That is number 6. Up the field on a seam route. Quarterback found him. That looks to be a 30-yard gain.
What a catch. It was a bit of a late one for the safety for Australia. But what a throw too. What a throw.
New Zealand's passing game has been quite impressive here, I must say. Back to the run game here with number 11 on the ground.
Yep, number 11 back into running back.
And how good would it be to finish with a touchdown here for New Zealand with the home crowd on their back.
So it's 2nd and 5?
Yep,
2nd and 4.
New Zealand in their 3 wide receiver set. Wide receiver in motion. Pass play here. He's got time. He's found his man. He's going up the middle. And he's in for a touchdown.
What a pass from the quarterback, number 8, to his receiver, number 6.
That brings up their 2nd touchdown of the game for New Zealand. That was a fantastic pass play. The offensive line there really did hold up. You know, that has been something they have been getting better at that through the game. But
as I said before, Australia are worried about the big pass, but they had too many players back in the backfield.
And that looks like there was a catch by number 6, Zion Gibbons, for the touchdown. Broken up this time, but there is a flag in the play. Could that be a late hit on the quarterback? It might be. New Zealand are going to try that 2-point try again. QB buys a bit of time, finds his man. Did he get it in? Looks like it might have just bounced off the ground. Regardless, I think the quarterback for New Zealand is really starting to make... That's Jelly. That's his nickname by the looks. That's what he's put down on here. But he's really making his feet work in the pocket, isn't he? He's showing that dynamism. He's buying a bit of time just by moving around, and he's really shifted the last 20 minutes of this game by doing that. It was 20-0 to Australia going into the half, and it's been 14-14 since then. So New Zealand can really take something away from how they battled in the second half.
And you know, Australia haven't given them these touchdowns. They had to work for it as well.
New Zealand's quarterback number 8, Mahonrai, also known as Jelly, has just really come on in the second half and backed himself. And you'd love to see that from a young kid as well. Chance of an onside kick here. It's like a squib kick down to the back line.
Number 11 again.
Makes a man miss. Brought down. That's better tackling from New Zealand. We're deep into the fourth quarter here, ladies and gentlemen. There's not a lot of time left in the game. I think it's at this time of the game where we call last try wins, right?
Pretty much. We're going to have to go for that now.
Looks like it's another penalty that's going against New Zealand. Australia will be starting the drive at the 39-yard line for New Zealand. First down, back to the running back, number 15 on the ground. Looks to be a 4-yard gain. And just one thing, ladies and gentlemen, you probably can't see just with the way the cameras are lined up today is there's a really big attendance at the game today. It's on the same side as the cameras, but we're nearly at capacity here, and you can definitely see the crowd get into the game more and more. And I'm sure that will pick up as well as we go into the last game of the day for the senior men's finale. Open downfield, throws the ball, and nearly picked off by number 0, the safety for New Zealand.
That was a dangerous pass, though.
There was
catchable.
There was number 0, the safety for New Zealand, Elijah Tuitama Masoi. Nearly with the big pick. It's at that point of the game, isn't it, where Australia, they do want to try, they do want to get something downfield, and
you know, they've just been running the ball a lot more, but now they're passing it and having a bit of fun with it. But here we go, number 15.
Back to the right side, B-gap. That one, that hole opened up.
This offensive line has been awesome today.
That one looks to be coming back, unfortunately. That looks to be a false start. New Zealand got away with one there. Back of his head, the quarterback's probably saying, well, gives me a chance to get another shot downfield as well. So Australia, passing set, New Zealand gun pressure completed with great defense around him. That was great defense, great catch.
Now we're 4th and 3.
First time we saw a little bit of pressure there from the New Zealand defensive line.
Yeah.
Quarterback in pistol, hands it off, ball's on the ground. And that is recovered by New Zealand, and we've talked about that. That's the second time that's happened now.
Yep.
It's the second time that we've seen just a difficult handoff, and this one hit the ground as well. So New Zealand have pounced on 2 turnovers now and get a chance to have one more drive in this game. Trips to the left again, to the open side of the field. Australia showing their cover 3 shell. Running back close to the left, caught in the backfield, makes a man miss, gets upfield, and that's another 6-yard gain. And
how about this crowd? Awesome support.
yeah, we're going to be pretty close to a sellout here on the grandstand side of things. Unfortunately, the seating's just on one side of the field, but it's a really good turnout from the football community in New Zealand and a lot of travelling Australian fans and whānau here in the house.
It's good to see the support for the sport as well.
Yeah.
Good 10 years ago, it was never like this, so good to see a lot more people into the game now.
Yep. Good to see New Zealand host something as well. It's been a long time. It's a great pass there again from Mahonrai, the quarterback for New Zealand. Unfortunately, that one goes to ground, and I think they'll be watching this tape back. They'll be watching this game back with a lot of pride, this New Zealand team, but they will be, the competitors in there will be looking at a couple of these mistakes that they will learn from and get better. Got a wide receiver in motion now. Quarterback's looking downfield, takes off, makes a man miss, gets another.
Locked in the back.
Unfortunately, there's a flag that came in there, and this one might be coming back. That one was pretty clear, wasn't it, unfortunately? The New Zealand's got the ball. It's 3rd down and 9. QB's got a bit of time. Throws it up for his wide receiver. And
That did look like interference there.
it's a flag on the field. looks like New Zealand will be getting that one. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. After this game, we'll be going down to the field to try and have a chat to the players of the game. First down here for New Zealand. They're on the 37-yard line of Australia. Ball snap, nice and clean. QB finds, just over his fingertips.
Unlucky.
QB is showing a lot more confidence in the pocket at the moment. He's really throwing these balls with a bit of moxie out there.
Yeah, not just that, the offensive line's finally blocking a bit more. He's getting a little bit more time in the pocket now.
And we say that knowing, this is one of the best defensive lines they will face, in their young careers as well. QB drops back, got a lot of time, steps up, throws the ball, overthrown, and it's nearly picked off.
Let's see if we just kept on that line. Could have had a chance to catch that. But he cut back in at the last second.
And that is a challenge, isn't it, with when you don't play with these wide receivers on a regular basis, and you get, few weeks of training with them, you just never really get a chance to get in sync and in rhythm than you would if this was played over a season, for example. Ball snapped, QB under pressure. Big defensive end, number 10 with the bat down.
By number 10 from Australia.
Fourth down here for New Zealand, 4th and 10. Quarterback drops back, throws it, and it is just out of reach, but we have another flag on field. This one looks like it might be pass interference on the linebacker for Australia. Looks like he just got enough of the wide receiver, didn't he? Tight end number 87.
Catchable ball as well.
That's first down for New Zealand off that pass interference play. They are setting up on the 26-yard line of Australia at the moment. New Zealand's got the snap. QB's got time. He's got a wide receiver open, and he just unfortunately cannot bring it in. Safety closed in on that one really well. Looks like we have a player down here for Australia. It looks like it might be the safety. And while we have a bit of a break, I'm joined here by the men's coach, or the under-16s coach, Tino. Obviously tough first game, but massive learning opportunity here for the boys. For many of them, it's their first time around. How's the mood in the camp?
Thanks for the opportunity to rest. Yeah, it's been really good. Good learning experience, especially with at the international level. So
New Zealand here, second down. Trips, wide receivers to the left. QB's looking that way, gets the ball downfield. He's got a receiver, just slightly overthrown. Good to see them looking a bit more confident at the moment passing their ball. So, we know Australia's been playing, especially the youth grades. They've been playing this game, and they've got a really good development system in place. We're seeing through that last game and now through the second game that we are starting to get better and better and better as a country. What do you think we need to do to really take those next steps as a nation?
yeah, that's a really good question. I believe a lot of workshops and the kids just being sort of getting involved without the talent that we have and sort of getting them on board, we wouldn't be having these type of games. So
QB drops back, he's got time. Out to his wide receiver, number 11 to the right, that's his running back, and that looks like it's a first down. So just picking up on that, and you're a former player as well. Do you see this next generation of coaches who are former players who come through the programs and the clubs? I've seen a lot of them step up into coaching roles now. Do you think that's what's going to really propel the game forward?
I believe with the experience that they have, and obviously playing international levels of some of those former coaches, as well as the coaches that were in the under-16s, the experience that they've got is nonetheless for them to sort of teach these young talent that are coming abroad, especially in the international levels. So really good for me.
Yeah. New Zealand with trips receivers to the left. This is where they've liked to go to the running back screen, running back in motion at the moment. QB's passes out to him, wide receivers blocking, and looks like they might have a small gain there of about 3 yards. But overall, the boys came out okay, no major injuries.
Yeah.
Lots of learning.
Yeah, lots of learning. A few niggly injuries during the camp, but they sort of stepped up and sort of pushed through just to help out, form the team. And obviously with the experience that they got during camp, especially with today's game, hopefully that will sort of push them to drive and go back to their respective clubs and sort of just offload what they've been taught and what they've learned, and then hopefully get those kids from those respective clubs to sort of come out and give it a try and sort of put their hands up in terms of playing international level.
And it looks like we might have an injury timeout here, or just a regular timeout. We are near the end of the fourth quarter. Australia are up 34-14. New Zealand, though, are driving to hopefully score one more touchdown before this game's over. But, one thing that has surprised me and actually been really good to see is these Australian teams are big. It's not like what we had 10, 15
10,
years ago,
15
where
years
New
ago,
Zealand would
exactly.
come in with a massive size advantage. But Australia, with that quicker, faster team, I think Australia's got a lot of size, and the
Yeah.
trenches are really well coached as well. Quarterback drops back, finds a bit of space, takes off. He's got a bit of grass here. Gets tackled out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. So that looks to be another 2-yard gain. Not quite, oh no, a bit more than 2 yards. That looks to be a 5-yard gain, and it will be a 3rd down and 1. Crowds getting behind them now, going into this. They're down and 2. Ball snapped. It's a handoff to the quarterback, number 11, and Australia's defensive line just get there. That one looks like it was an outside linebacker or safety blitz. Number 26 from Australia gets there, and it's a tackle for loss. New Zealand calls a timeout. 4th down and 1. What's the field conditions like at the moment, Tino? How's it feel underfoot?
Yeah, pretty good. Good grass to play on. And obviously one of the better fields that we have here in Tamaki Pakaro. And especially, you know, with this field being used for bigger sports, especially with our rugby. But it's a good opportunity to come back to this field because it's been a long time coming. I think the last time, respectively, as I played on this field was back in 2008 when we played the Metro Lions in the finals, the cubicle finals. So it's good to come back on a familiar ground and just watch the international level games against Australia.
Here we go. It's 4th down, 4th and 3 by the looks. New Zealand 3 wide receiver set, balls high, taken in by the QB, and that's a touchdown. Finds Old Faithful, his tight end, number 87, Mahonri, quarterback, number 8 for New Zealand, with a dart up the middle on a quick post route.
Yeah, then Mahonri has been connecting with that 87 all day today. That's Ray here, Hey Howard, one of the go-to receivers that Mahonri loves to go to, especially getting into that end zone. So it's pretty
Both
good
play together in Australia as well for the Crusaders.
I believe so. So those two connections coming from Australia to put in place here in New Zealand, it's pretty good to see. So well done on that drive.
So after Australia started 20-0, New Zealand have now brought this game back to 34-20. Trips wide receivers to the left again. Running back to the left. QB's looking left. Goes back to his tight end, who brings it in for another conversion.
Again, as you can see, Shiraz with this 87 connection, him and Mahonri, number 8, they've got a really good chemistry, especially on that offensive side of the ball. So finding him, especially being in target for the quarterback to throw a dime to get that 2-point. New Zealand is really looking good, especially in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, really good to see here. So 34-22 is the score now. Considering Australia started with a 20-0 lead, New Zealand have done really well to get back in this game. Lots of resilience shown by the New Zealand team, and something they'll go home feeling very proud of.
Very coming into this game, especially just watching them in camp. the preparation, Therese, it didn't go unnoticed. So for them to come and just play what they've learned throughout those camps really shows here in today's games. Still have a lot of fights in the 18 Iron Blacks. So
Short kick here, looking for a quick recovery. And Australia managed to dive on the balls loose, and New Zealand recover.
Yes, and it looks like a turnover.
See Coach Freedom
Very excited.
on the sideline there. Saw a few hats flying.
That onside kick, as they say in a lot, do not let that bounce ball.
Yep.
The ball bounce, sorry.
Looks like the New Zealand team are really enjoying this moment at the moment. Great to see. Lots of smiles on that sideline. You have a chance to really make this a very close game.
Looks like the ball. Iron Blacks, first down.
New Zealand's got the ball on the Australian 37-yard line. First down. Spread forward, receiver set. QB drops back. He's got some time. He buys a bit more time. Throws the ball. And it bounces out of the tight end's arms. That one was a tough one. 3 Australian defenders in front of him. Probably had very quick sight of the ball real late. But he will want that one back, unfortunately.
Yes, like you said, Shiraz, those 3 defenders were covering well on that 87. Unfortunately, it did bounce in his hands and he dropped it.
So we go back to second down here.
Again, ball on the 37. We have second and 10.
Trips to the left. This is where he's like to throw it to the running back out of the backfield. But I wouldn't be surprised to see the wide receivers go downfield out of this formation.
Yes.
They bite on the running back.
On that running. And it looks like Australia has opted to use a timeout.
Running back motions out. QB buys a bit of time. Flicks the ball up. Ball's live. And the QB comes back with it. Dangerous little lateral there. He got away from it with it for a bit. And that looks to be the end of the game. That is full time, ladies and gentlemen.
That was the last play of the game. With the Iron Blacks against Australia on the 18s Colts division.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us into our game. We can try and get down to the sidelines just to have a quick chat with either the coach for Australia or New Zealand. So stay with us. So stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. We're just going to try and have a quick chat to one of the Captain from the Australia team, Noah Wilson. How did that go, Noah? Talk us through that game.
Yeah, it was a great game. I think we all really gave all our hearts, played really hard. Yeah, I'm really proud of all these boys, man. I'm a second-year player, so it's going to be my last time in under-18s. And just meeting all these new guys coming up, being coached by the same staff and, you know, fighting alongside my brothers is just something else, man. It's really something special. So, yeah, I think we played with pride today.
Nice one. I see your dad in the stands. Enjoy this one and go have a go on with the team.
Cheers, brother. Thank you.
Please, can we hear from head coach New Zealand, Freedom G2?
Thank you to our families for supporting the campaign. Now we're proud of your boys. They did the nation proud. They did their family proud. And we're always looking to improve. This game, this festival of football is our second year going now. And I think that from last year to this year, we've made massive strides as a football community. We've made massive leaps. I am proud of your boys so much. Thank you to Australia for coming over. I was hoping you guys would get sick. We'll try again next time. But thank you boys, pictures. You guys are awesome. I see why you are in the position you're in. And man, the fruits of your labor, you see through your guys' boys. And you're on applause for Australia, please. Yeah, just on behalf of the head coach, the under 18 OUTBACKS staff, as the head coach, I truly thank all our families as part of our campaign. This cannot happen without you. This team doesn't happen without you. The boys want to play, but we know it's new stadiums, so thank you. Thank you for all the trials and stuff in the middle of Trump. Let's not get into that. But yeah, we thank you guys so much. OUTBACKS, big shout to our supporters. Thank you.
I just want to say they did try and come out spying him. He did get delayed on the way in, and I think it was a look, we played last year. This game's infinitely harder. You guys said you don't bring it this year, and that's exactly what it did. we can't thank you enough for the hospitality, and you absolutely done, you guys did everything that you needed to win, and we have some stuff we need to rely on fundamentally to get there. To the families who travel that allow all these kids to do everything that they do every single week, I can't thank you enough. To the coaches who tolerate how difficult I am to work with, I deeply appreciate your patience and tolerance. And again, just to the Ironways team, like, guys, you're always, I can't wait to see what you do next.
Give it up for your coaches and give it up for your friends and family. I am honored and I am privileged to be assigned nominating our MVP of the match. For this gentleman, I met him earlier in the day and I just thought he was brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant. So a big congratulations to Australian running back Tamiano. He would not like to speak. Okay. Maybe later. The last thing I've got to do is the Australia vs New Zealand tackle test match. Under 18 champions for the second year running, Australia. You to return to your team sections. We are going to return, bringing our adult men very, very shortly. I'll give you two minutes to get organised. Okay, excellent. Thank you all.